very strong effect on our psyches, especially in cases of acute illness. The Russian Evgeny Bondarenko and his son Igor want to technically document the psychic and intuitive powers of our minds. They were fortunate to find a dacha formerly owned by a steel worker. The man constructed the center of his house completely of welded steel plates. Even the curtains are made of steel. An ideal place for experiments is the potato storeroom. It too is made of welded steel plates and serves as a perfect, completely isolated location for measuring the power of the mind. The instrument for measuring these powers is a patent developed by Evgeny. This sensor. Evgeny switches on the computer. It is equipped with special American software, which converts the frequencies received by the sensor into digital signals. In the meantime, I have coffee with Evgeny's wife. Do you understand what he's researching?
Вы разбираетесь в том, чем он занимается? Nein.
No.
Do you believe in the power of the mind, that it is made in such a way that it can manipulate machines?
Да. Я.
Yes.
Have you had any experiences with this phenomena?
Not with machines, but I know for sure that you can influence other people. The most common and simple way in which Evgeny heals our friends and acquaintances is either directly, over the phone, or through a photo. And it usually works.
That means telepathy is a part of your everyday life?
In my opinion, it's not really telepathy. I think telepathy is more a kind of thought reading. Evgeny is more concerned with mental healing.
The power he uses to accomplish this is now going to be measured. The clocks are synchronized. Then everyone has to leave the house. Evgeny knows how skeptically the powers of the mind are regarded, so he's left mental healing up to others for the time being. Together with his son, he's working exclusively on producing technical proof of the so-called magical powers of the brain. He's looking for scientists who will help him succeed in his research. All the steel doors are shut tight, so that the sensor is virtually sealed in a Faraday cage. The dacha is located in the wilderness near the Finnish border, far away from possible sources of interference. Who really does the healing? Evgeny? Or do the people heal themselves? Or is it God? What do you think?
I can't really explain it.
What does one really do when one heals? What does Evgeny do? Does he pray?
We're atheists. We don't pray. We simply know the human organism radiates certain frequencies that can help other people.
So Evgeny radiates something which helps other people, is that correct?
Евгений излагает другому.
Yes.
Now, he registers the exact moment in which he concentrates his thoughts on the sensor in the potato crate. According to physical laws, at this distance, through double steel walls, no impulses should reach the sensor. Evgeny repeats the experiment several times, noting each time the exact moment and length of his thought impulses. He holds his breath and contracts his diaphragm tightly in order to concentrate as intensely as possible. What does he actually radiate when he heals? Does it come automatically? Certain thoughts? Does he meditate? What does he concentrate on?
Yes, of course. He concentrates with all his power on the person he's trying to heal. I don't know what he thinks when he does it. His thoughts are certainly not always the same. But it's important for his method that he concentrates as intensely as possible. And that's very strenuous.
So you believe in the power of the mind? That one can penetrate another body with the mind and influence it?
I don't think it's in the mind. It's different radiations emanating from the human brain. We're just unable to identify and interpret them exactly.
Maybe this house will go down in history as the birthplace of a bridge between shamanism and science. The computer gives Evgeny and his son Igor the proof they've been seeking for years. The temporal record of Evgeny's concentration work, the signals received by the sensor and registered by the computer, correspond exactly.
Так как эксперимент координируется со временем абсолютно четко.
There's no doubt about the experiment. The computer was synchronized with my father's watch and registered impulses at exactly the same moment in which my father produced his energy. We can see here exactly where I gave myself the command to concentrate, then the concentration itself, until I was exhausted and started again.
20 years ago, Evgeny discovered he had a slight tingling in his fingertips when he sensed something he couldn't necessarily see. I want to put him to a test. Can he pinpoint my location through this wall? On behalf of the Russian government, Evgeny flew across Siberia to locate oil and found mineral resources on the map. He revealed the location of ships to the Russian Navy on sea maps after looking at photos. All this can only function if he has a clear idea of what he's looking for. As soon as he finds something, his sensor indicates an increase of his brain activity. Evgeny's son is also developing his senses by using this technical feeling control. Finally, Evgeny locates me through the wall. Every brain has the ability to do these things, he says. One only has to activate it.
We call it biolocation. It involves biological frequencies which we not only emit but also receive. Now we're going to see how both our emissions are registered by the computer. If you pay attention to the intervals at which you and I both speak, you'll notice the signal changes. Our feelings and cerebral activities are all involved in the experiment. Because our feelings constantly change, the signal does as well. We place an antenna on the sensor, which is connected to a generator for electromagnetic signals. Our signal has 20 megahertz. The antenna overlaps it now with 400 megahertz. Despite the strength of the artificial signal, our biofield still managed to penetrate. Up to now, we can't explain what kind of radiation it is. We can only see that it's very strong. The amplitude of the biofield is twice as high as that of the electromagnetic field. If we knew what creates them, we would construct the appropriate machines. But we'd have to conduct a lot of research to achieve this, something the two of us aren't able to do.